Hello and welcome everybody to this special edition of Live from the Hombre Cave. Sorry, I've been battling a sickness, so I've been trying to keep the coughing down, so I'm going to drink a little bit of water here while I'm doing this. Tonight's kind of a special edition, a special thing we're going to do, and I want to kind of explain to you guys what's going on tonight. When we started the membership on the Tequila Hombre for the Discord for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, I offered two membership packages for it that you could purchase. One was the basic $10 a month one, but there was another one that was also, I think it was $30 a month. And with the $30 a month, it was what we called the Maestro plan. And with this plan, every month, all the members that signed up for it would get a live tasting with me, and then and we would pick something to do a tasting of, or I would send samples. And it's kind of melded now because all of us are really busy and haven't been really able to get together to do the live tastings because of our schedules and stuff. But what I'm doing now is just basically sending them samples of stuff that I've reviewed that they can try and see if they like it, and we can discuss. And we haven't really been doing the live streams, but I had one member who really liked our live tastings and contacted, his wife actually contacted me and said, hey, we'd like to, Jason really likes, his name is Jason, he likes to do these live tastings with you, and they'd like to do a live tasting like what you do, but with some stuff, rare stuff that you can't find anywhere, some rare stuff from your collection. So I said, and I came up with a price and a thing that we're going to do for him. So this is his Christmas gift. We're finally getting around. He stayed dry in January, so we weren't able to do the tasting then, and in February our schedules were kind of tied up, so we finally got it done now. So he's going to do his live tasting of some rare tequilas that he can't get now anymore, and so we're going to talk about those, and I'm going to kind of guide him through the tasting portion. So that's what this is tonight. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the tasting, so I figured, hey, instead of us just doing the live video, between the two of us, I said, why not do this so we can broadcast it on the Hombre Cave, since it's kind of what we're doing, the Hombre Cave, and everybody can kind of see how this whole thing works, and watch Jason, as well as ask questions for Jason, and see what he thinks about what he's tasting, and go from there. So I think it'd be a fun show. Jason is normally a little bit camera shy about going live and stuff, but he's ready to go for this, and he's got, I guess, some friends are coming too. So we should have a good show tonight. So I hope you guys are all ready for it, and have your tequilas all set. And let's check in real quick just with our subscribers before we start the tasting. So Kenny B says he's first. Yes, he is. Congratulations, Kenny. You're the first. Looking forward to a good show tonight. I am too. And when have you ever gotten anything but a good show from me? So he says, I got my Arete Añejo poured opening up. Okay, good. Arete Añejo is a nice one. All right, so let's not waste any more time, though. Let's bring in one of my members. His name's Jason. Jason, welcome to the live stream. How you doing, buddy? Good. So you ready for this live tasting of stuff that you can't get anymore? Yeah, that's the only thing, is that you're not going to be able to find it anyplace. All right, so everybody knows, I just sent him 5 bottles for this, and they're labeled 1 through 5, and that's it. So it says 1, and he's got one that says 2, 3, 4, and 5. He doesn't know what's in them. It's completely 100% blind, and then I'm going to tell him what it is after we taste through it. I'm going to taste with him through the first 2 of them, and then after that, I'm going to let him do the tastings on the other ones on his own. So go ahead and take number 1 and pour it into a glass. Oh, they said they can't hear you. Yeah, people are saying they can't hear you. So hold on, let me see if I can get you working. You- Cast mix. All right, let me see. You might have to hear the echo again. Talk now.
All right.
Can you guys hear him
Okay.
now?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You guys comment if you can hear him
I'm
now.
getting the echo.
Hmm?
I'm getting the echo.
Can you guys hear Jason?
Can everybody hear me?
No one's commenting. Yes. Okay, they can hear you now.
Okay, they can hear me. All right, good.
So you'll just have to put here. Let me see if I can figure out. I'll figure that out later. But can you put up with the echo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is poured.
Okay. Go ahead and swirl it around. Look at it in the glass and everything. I have the same one
nice.
here, just so everybody else can see.
It's got a little bit of color on it.
Yeah. Coats the glass pretty nicely. It's got nice legs and tears on it. All right. Let's see what you get on the nose.
Mmm. It's very nice.
Very nice, but you're not getting any notes. He's not going to share any notes with you guys.
You know me, my
He's just going to say very nice, and you guys are going to have to guess what he's spelling.
my tongue are not trained very well. Trying to pick out specific notes for me has always been difficult.
It doesn't have to be extremely detailed. You just pick up stuff that you smell.
I'm almost getting some strawberries.
Okay.
But not like fresh strawberries, more like strawberry syrup almost.
Okay. Now keep in mind, nothing's wrong. It's based on your own experience and stuff. So.
And I will say I have been suffering from allergies this week pretty badly, but they seem to be cleared up today, but that could make things weird.
Okay. No worries. So my notes, what I'm picking up on this, and maybe you can smell along and stuff, is there's definitely a cinnamon up front. It tends to be more on the floral side.
Yes, floral.
There's definitely vanilla and caramel in it that I'm picking up. A nice kind of like almost like a cream soda, vanilla type of a note coming through on it.
Yeah, that's probably a better note than my strawberry syrup.
Yeah.
I like that better.
But it's a nice mix of the vanilla, caramel, like cream soda and cinnamon from the agave, and it smells really clean and really light and effervescent. So,
Yeah.
All right, give her a taste. Tell us what you get. And just so you guys know, he's been sipping Blanco, right?
Yeah, I've been sipping a little Aguila.
So he prepped his palate for the 40% alcohol already.
So it's interesting. The very first thing that I tasted was a slight hint of bourbon. I mean, I'm guessing that this is an aged expression just from the color.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah. He's not gonna. He never gives anything away. So I do get agave.
Okay. I forgot how good this is.
You know, it's. Um, I, my tongue is not warmed up to tasting it. It's very good. Let's see.
All right, if you guys have questions that you want to ask him too, go ahead and ask away, and we'll make have him answer the questions while he's doing the tasting. So if there's something you guys want to know about him, about the particular tequila, ask. It doesn't just have to be me talking. You guys can ask him questions too.
I'm trying to pick out specific notes. It's got a it's got an aftertaste that I can't quite place. A finish that's I don't know.
I can give you my notes if you guys want.
Sure, help me crib.
I definitely get the cinnamon up front, and baking spices from the cooked agave. The I need to pour a little bit more on my glass here.
I don't get anything floral on the taste the way that it is in the nose.
I definitely get the vanilla, like the cream soda kind of note comes through with the vanilla in it.
Yeah.
A little bit of bitterness, like anise bitterness, that kind of blends out that vanilla, gives it that cream soda kind of taste on it. And
Yeah,
then
there's definitely an effervescent quality.
so California wants to know how's the finish.
So the finish is interesting. There's a bit of a, I mean, almost it's not bitter, but it's almost bitter to me.
Okay.
It's not the finish is probably my least favorite part
Okay.
of this particular
Yeah,
one.
Anthony wants to know, is it bitter, citrusy, etc. For me on the finish, I'm getting like a salted caramel. I'm getting a caramel note and then a salinity, a saltiness on the finish that's really coming through for me.
That's interesting. I don't get the caramel. I do get a bit of the salty, almost brininess that you've described. That initial hit that I described of bourbon, I don't get anymore. There was some sort of familiar note right when it hit my tongue, but that's dissipated now. But as the hombre will tell you, my nose and my palate are very strange. We typically don't see eye to eye on what's in our glass from a tasting perspective.
But it's perfectly okay. We don't have to see eye to eye, and everybody tastes things differently,
Yeah.
and we embrace that. So, I forgot
Plus, I think
how good this
my
was.
tongue takes a while to warm up.
Yeah, I definitely get the cinnamon and baking spices up front. I get vanilla, like the cream
Yeah.
soda vanilla. A little bit, the caramel comes through, and then it turns more into like a salinity on the end with the caramel note. So it's like a salted caramel finish to it for me.
Hmm.
And it's definitely more on a floral side than it is like a fruity. So it's more of a floral than a sweet fruit or ripe fruit kind of flavor profile for me.
Hmm.
Brian's like, eek, what the hell is it?
I want to know too.
Oh, he's well, what the hell is? Okay. All right, I'm going to disclose what it is now. It is the one of the first barrels that we got for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So it is a
Okay.
Corazon de Agave Blanton's barrel aged. So you hit it with the bourbon. It is, let me so you guys can see it. It is a Blanton's barrel aged. You can't get these anymore. It's a really good tequila. It was $45 a bottle when we did it. We sold them out right away.
How old?
It's got the collective. This is from 2018, so it's 5 years ago.
And is it a Repo and Yeho?
This is in Añejo, so it's
Okay.
Añejo here. There you go, Añejo. So this is a barrel I picked out personally in Mexico. I went to the.
Nice.
It is definitely an Añejo, but it's in a Blanton's barrel, so all the normal wood notes and stuff have been sucked out by the Blantons. But there is you do get the Blantons tasting notes in it, the bourbon.
Well, and Blanton's popularity in whiskey world, this would be even more popular today, I would imagine.
Yeah, we sold these out. We had it was 40 cases of it, and we sold it out within a week. And we were only selling it by the case. You couldn't buy this by the bottle. You had to buy it by the case because of the retailer we're
really?
working on. They wouldn't split cases up. You had to buy a case, and they would only ship cases. So everybody that on the first buy, they had to buy them by the case.
Nice.
Yeah, Chris says,
And
wow, that's had
you
plenty
said
of time to
40,
marry and
45?
settle down in the bottle. Yeah, it has. Yeah, 5 years. 5 years to settle down. Anthony said, based on the color and tasting notes, I'd say it's a Repo. No, it's an Añejo.
I would have guessed Reposado on the color.
Just shows you can't gauge by color, right? You just can't.
Right.
And G4 is a big example of that as well, because if you look at all the G4s, even the extra Neo, I mean, it looks like the color of a Repo because it had the longer aged bourbons in it, and so all the color comes out first when they do the aging.
Mm-hmm.
How many bottles? 6 bottles to a case, so it's like 240 bottles of it.
And you said this was just one barrel.
Yes, single barrel.
Yeah.
I did the barrel selection on it, and this was our barrel. And this by far was one of the best barrels that I tasted, and we lucked out on the 2 that we did. The second one is what you're going to be tasting next. So I'll give you a hint that you know it's Corazon de Agave, but you're not going to know what bourbon it is. So,
Right. Okay.
all right, so crack open the second one.
We'll see.
Do a palate rinse.
Okay. All right, so this one's much lighter in color.
Which means absolutely nothing.
Correct. Trying to hold it up for the camera.
How's it looking for the legs and tears on that puppy?
Very nice.
Yeah, some people have the impression that the Corazon de Agave really doesn't make a good tequila, but honestly, their tequila is not bad. And then their Buffalo Trace.
I can't say I've actually had their main product.
Yeah, their tequila's not bad. I mean, it's not great as far as like just a base thing, but Corazon de Agave is owned by Sazerac. This is their tequila, and it's made by Casa San Matias for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but this is Sazerac's brand, and so they basically made it so all the Buffalo Trace barrels go to San Matias for the aging for these. So they get all the Buffalo Trace tequilas, including Pappy. And when they first released the brand, they did what they called the Corazon de Agave Expressions. And that was back in 2013. And I have one of the original bottles of the Buffalo Trace bourbon editions. But they also released a Pappy one, which people went crazy over trying to find that bottle. That was one of the first bottles to go. And then after it went, people were spending a god's amount of money to try to get that first 2013 expression of the Pappy. But after they did that, the Pappy people said, you are not supposed to use our barrels for aging tequila. You're not going to do it anymore. And so they weren't allowed to do it anymore. But they did Weller. They've done a bunch of other stuff out of Buffalo Trace. So that's where Casa San Matias gets all of their barrels now from. They come directly from the Buffalo Trace distillery.
Okay.
Do you recommend a specific food or fruit as a palate cleanse for tequila? Not really. I mean, crackers are good. It's what I normally would use as crackers. Just something not salted, just a regular, like a salt-free saltine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using these water crackers.
Water crackers are good too.
They're bland, doesn't add any additional flavor.
Yeah, those are great. But I use mostly just water. And what actually is a really nice, if you guys have access to it, what's a really nice palate cleanser too is goat cheese. If you have a nice, just regular unflavored goat cheese, just a standard goat cheese, it's an amazing palate cleanser. What is this? Weller is just all the barrels that don't meet QC for Pappy for the most part. Oh, okay.
That's the rumor.
Yep, carbonated water is no flavor. Yeah, I just use regular water. You don't need the carbonation. So that's what I have. My regular water here is my palate cleanser. All right, so let's dive into the second one.
Yeah, so that one's got cinnamon that jumps out right away.
What about smelling coffee? You can smell coffee to reset, but I don't particularly care to do that. I don't really focus on resetting my nose. I just reset my my flavor palette, my taste palette. My nose though, I don't really need to reset it. Typically, I mean, but if you need to reset it, that's good. You can do smell coffee is a great way to reset your nose. But I typically don't do that. So Because normally, just by
Hey,
me not
Ombre,
smelling anything, I've
just
reset my my nose.
just a quick question. I've got a few friends on the stream that are texting me. How are they able to comment on the YouTube video? Do they have to do something special?
Yeah, they have to be subscribed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, guys, just subscribe to the channel, please.
Yeah, it'll be when you subscribe. It'll be 5 minutes, and then you can comment. We have it
Okay.
set for so subscribers, so we don't get porn spam and stuff like that coming in on the on this. They actually have to, because it's happened before. It's like, hey, free girls, XX rated, meet girls in China and stuff coming up on the live feed. You're like, no thanks, So we set it so you have to be a channel subscriber, and hopefully you'll stay and subscribe and see some of the other content and stuff that we do on this channel, because we really make some good content. We have some really good people on here, so.
Agreed.
Yes.
I've been
Blind taste.
a Hombre subscriber for a year or two now, and I love it.
Yeah, he's
Taught
not,
me everything I know about tequila.
he's not only a subscriber here on the Discord and stuff, and is a subscriber on the Hombre Cave, but he's also a YouTube member and subscriber on the Tequila Hombre channel as well. So he's all in, which I appreciate his support. What is that? I also just had to update my YouTube app this evening. Yeah, you want to make sure you have the latest YouTube app too. and then you can comment once you become a subscriber to the channel.
All right, so the cinnamon has calmed down on the nose.
Okay.
I'm getting some vanilla.
Yeah, this has got a really strong vanilla note for me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely more of a cream soda note coming through on it. Lots of caramel. I'm getting lots of caramel on the nose on this.
Yep, I agree.
And just so people know too, Casa San Matias does not use additives, so there's no additives in this. This is straight from the barrel. But lots of caramel coming through on the nose. It smells really good. I forgot how good these were. I haven't visited these in years, and I forgot how I still have bottles sitting here from, because I buy a case of everything when we do on the buys on the collective. And for those of you who want to get in on the buys on the collective, there's a link in the description for joining the Discord, the collective. You become part of the Discord community where everybody shares stuff too. So it's not just, the TBA membership. It's also kind of being part of a tequila lovers community. That's everybody posts things and share their tasting notes on things or things that they found, or if they find a good deal on something, they'll post it there. And then good bars and restaurants that have good selections is posted there. I mean, it's got a lot of good information in that. It's a good resource. All right, so you ready to dive in and taste it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Salud. JP Keating says it's a good-looking cap you have there.
Yes, that JP's one of my best friends.
Okay.
He's commenting on my Mount Whitney patch on my hat.
That was for the hike he did?
Yeah, JP, myself, and Ryan, who might also be watching, summited Mount Whitney together last summer.
I remember you told me about that. The trip you were training for it.
Yeah. I like this one. I like the first one too, but I like this one too. I like this one better. And no, I don't have a bourbon guess.
Okay.
As for what it was aged in, I don't know.
So what kind of notes are you getting on the tasting notes?
So definitely cinnamon and vanilla, agave, the obvious ones. This one's got a more pleasant finish than the first one. The first one wasn't bad, but there was that slight bitterness. I don't get this one in this one. Yeah, a lot of caramel. It's got a really nice viscosity to it. It coats really well. Just, I mean, the first one did too, but we didn't mention that one on the first.
Yeah, it does have a nice mouthfeel to it.
Mouthfeel, yes.
For me, this one's a little more richer on the vanilla and caramel notes that are coming through on it.
Yep.
And they're blending really nicely to give you that cream soda kind of flavor profile. I'm still getting the salinity on the end of it, the salty brininess, with the caramel, a creamy caramel note that stays on the tongue on it.
Yeah, I definitely get a long caramel finish on it.
Yeah, and so it's like a salted caramel finish for me. Yes, hit the like button, everybody. Absolutely. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate that, buddy. JP says, which brand is wins best tequila for sipping on the boat? Well, you guys aren't going to be able to buy any of these because you can't find them anywhere. So these you won't be sipping on the boat. These are going to be done here tonight.
Yes, yes.
And I swear, and if he does have any left over for the boat, he's probably going to drink it himself.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have stock of these left, or is this pretty much getting close to the end of them for you?
No, I have stock here, my personal stock.
Mm-hmm.
But these are all sold out. You can't find these anywhere.
Yeah, I just didn't know if I know you buy a bunch, but you also tend to go through a bunch too. So some of these older expressions might be disappearing.
Mike wants to know, it's a great room behind you, Jason. He's in his house. I'm sure Mike probably knows that, right?
Yeah, Mike knows. He's been in this room with me. This is my this is the bar I built in my basement last year.
All right, let's focus on the tequila tasting and not get distracted.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, I told you, my friends are just going to heckle us.
That's fine. Who needs friends, anyways? Like, right?
Right. I'm surprised Mike isn't over here right now trying to get in on this.
Just lock the door. Tell your wife to lock the door.
I like this one a lot.
So this one's the better one between the two?
Yeah, for my palate, definitely.
Would you buy it for $45 a bottle?
I would buy it all day long for $45 a bottle.
This one was also $45 a bottle by the case.
Yeah.
So $260, I think it was for the whole case.
Yeah, that would be a good deal.
All right. So for the reveal, it is Corazon de Agave, which you knew that already. This one is Eagle Rare.
Oh, okay.
Reposado. So you can see the Eagle Rare. There you go. Eagle Rare Reposado. Single barrel. This was our selection as well from the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And like I said, I picked the best two barrels that that we could have?
It's interesting. I'm an Eagle Rare fan. I mean, Blanton's is fine too, but I find Blanton's to be overhyped. And it's also Blanton's is also a single barrel product, so it quality can vary slightly between barrels. But Eagle Rare is one of my staples, although I haven't been able to find it lately. So I do tend to prefer Eagle Rare, even though it's a slightly less expensive product than Blanton's.
All right.
Drinking whiskey.
All right, so there you go. There's number 2 out of the way.
Very good.
Let's reset and pull out bottle number 3. But you're going to be sipping this one on your own. This is a treat. It's one of a kind. You won't find this anywhere. Not available. There you go.
So you can see how this one's a lot darker.
Yeah,
So
it's normally better if you put like a piece of white paper behind it, so they can kind of see how dark it is. There you go.
Let's see. There we go. Nope, wrong way.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Okay. This is the darkest of the 5, color-wise.
Chris said Eagle Rare is very balanced, great for mint juleps. Getting all kinds of great side information. And Mike's in love with your Raysol, but we're not talking about Raysol right now.
Yes, he is. He's put a bunch of damage in that bottle over my shoulder here.
Were you part of the collective when we did the 10-year? Oh.
No, I missed it.
Let me tease Mike a little bit, okay? Hold on a second.
Tease him.
All right, Mike, this is for you, buddy. Since you like talking about Raysol. This is a single barrel Raysol, 10-year aged, 90 proof. Right there. See, it says 10 year on it right now, right there. And this was a single barrel that we did for the collective. So you can see that says the Tequila Barrel Agave Collective on it, on the medallion there. But this is a special barrel that we did 2 barrels of it. We sold them both barrels out. 10th anniversary there on the medallion. Let's get it to focus. There you go. So this is 90 proof, single barrel, 10 years aged in French oak. The regular Raysol is 6 years in new French oak. This is the first time they ever released any that was 10 years.
And that was, if I remember correctly, that's double the normal MSRP of Raysol. So
there, that was for Mike.
Oh,
a little teaser.
You missed my question. You were disconnected.
Oh, sorry.
That particular barrel of Raysol was per bottle was like what, $500?
No, $299.
Oh.
But again, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it would easily be $800 or $900.
Yeah.
But I bought 2 cases of it, so I still have three bottles sitting in that shelf back there.
No, unfortunately, I missed that buy.
Bourbon and Banter said Eagle Rare beating Blanton's in a blind tasting is no surprise.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Victor says my wife agrees about the Eagle Rare over Blanton's. There you go. But these aged tequilas actually are both excellent. I mean, they're both turned out great. Whether you like the bourbon or not, it's more about the tequila than it was the bourbon. So,
Yeah, and I didn't, other than the first, like, real taste of the first one, I didn't get any hint of bourbon after that
Yeah.
on either of them.
What is that? What types of products do y'all make, and what is the price? And is it worth it? And sorry for asking because I don't know. We don't make any products. We're drinking tequila. And yes, they're all worth it. Everything that I recommend. If you don't know who I am and what I do, you can subscribe here, but also check out the Tequila Hombre channel. I do reviews on tequila and agave spirits. And so I don't make any products. I don't sell any products here. This is all about reviews and education on tequila and agave spirits. And so that's what, and Jason's just here doing a tasting because he's part of my community and my membership base. And this was a gift that his wife bought him for Christmas. So we're doing some tasting of some really rare, hard to find, actually impossible to find tequilas that I have here in my Hombre Den, my personal collection. So Umelio, that's what this is. We're not trying to sell anybody anything, so you can relax, enjoy some good tequila, and watch and enjoy, and not feel like you're being sold on anything, because you're absolutely not. None of this stuff is available anymore. It sold out years ago when we first offered it. But these were also considered fake barrels by many who didn't think I could bring them in. So yeah, you're tasting fake barrels. Congratulations.
There we go. Well, these are the best fake barrels I've ever tasted. So I've started nosing the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very specific note, which is Black Forest ham.
Okay.
Which is it's weird.
Yeah, Black Forest ham's kind of weird.
Yeah, so Black Forest ham, for those of you that don't know, is kind of like German prosciutto. It's very thinly sliced, very, very smoky flavor to it, a bit richer than prosciutto, more salty. But the nose on this just instantly brought me to our local butcher here that has it in the case, and it smells like it just comes right out of it. I don't know why. Is that a good note, or you like?
Yes, you like the smell. Okay,
I'm a big fan.
Okay,
but this is odd. I would not guess this was a tequila if you just gave this to me in a glass and said, "What is this?"
He said, "That's actually an empty glass in your hand."
It's very empty.
I actually do have this one. I could sip along if you wanted me to.
Well, otherwise, I'm just going to be making up notes. I won't have anybody crib off of.
All right, I'll put a little bit of this in my glass. I gotta smell the Black Forest ham thing. I never got that on this, but
I told you my nose is weird.
Yes. Yeah, I don't get ham, but
I mean, I do get agave.
Oh, what is it? No, boss, I know who you are, and I love your recommendations. I thought this was the guy who had a company making this is a live tasting. The mezcal guy was on last week. That was last Thursday. And that was for the De Matachinas. You can see that's on the channel already. And then we're going to do a Mezcal Monday this week, and then I'm going to work on getting another brand on with us to talk about their Mezcal. I just got it arranged to make sure he's available for the live stream. So this is just a member. We're doing a tequila tasting on some rare tequilas that I have in my collection. So, well, thank you, Anthony. I don't know what the kudos is for, but thank you. I appreciate that. It sounds like he's got a legit Black Forest ham hookup. The rest of us don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've got a local sausage shop here that is killer. I'm in St. Louis, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I like the good German, real German sausages. Is it a German butcher? Oh,
Yeah.
see, if you want to try something special, when you go into your butcher, ask him if they have Metz.
Oh yeah.
Have you had a Metz before?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
Because it's like a smoked brat, and it's like the most amazing thing.
Right.
It's got a little spiciness to it and stuff. I used to get them back in Ohio when I lived in Ohio, but they don't have them here in California. But I found a German butcher shop that actually ordered them for me, and they have them. So we'll go and pick up regular brats and then the Mets to go with them, and they're so good, so good.
Yeah.
So what has been the best you've tried or your favorite in this video so far?
Well, so far it was the second one. We're 2 of 5 in. So right now the Corazon aged in Eagle Rare Reposado was my favorite.
And that was
But
from
we'll
a,
see about Black Forest here.
that was from a single barrel selection that we did for the collective. The first 2 barrels that we did for the collective, Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. What is it? Perhaps the char given the aroma of smoked ham. Interesting. Yeah, well, it could be, but these aren't. Well, these aren't charred, so it's not a char. So I gave that away.
That's not going to help me.
Yeah, it's not going to help them that much, but. So what do you?
It just has this. It's got this very rich, like almost barbecue flavor or nose to it.
It's sweet, right? It's sweet.
Yeah,
It's got a
yeah.
sweetness
It's
to it.
almost like pulled pork with some nice sauce, stuff like that. Going back, I guess maybe that's what it is.
Do me a favor. Pull out your Raysol. You have another glass?
I've got a bunch.
Pour a little bit of Raysol in a glass and nose them side by side.
Did you just give it away?
No. Oh, kudos to your endeavors and success. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Anthony. Thank you. Yeah. When people doubt me, it gets me more motivated. So nose that, and then nose the one I gave you.
All right. So this is the Raysol. Much lighter, and I get it. I get a lot more caramel on this one, I think. This is much deeper and richer nose. Hmm.
Char for this barrel was not charred. That's what I was trying to say. So far, everything that you have recommended has been good. Well, thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. I want to keep that up for you guys as well. If you use bourbon barrels, the char flavor is the first to go on the bourbon. Exactly. Simplifying a lot of things. Over time, the flavor comes from a deeper into the barrel. Exactly. Right. When it starts pulling the vanillin and stuff out of the wood, that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. The char, though, is the color is always the first thing to go in a barrel. So, so the longer it ages too, the less color you'll get. That's why if you look at like a G4 Extra Neo, I could pull a bottle if you guys want to look at it. But if you look at a G4 Extra Neo, very light color because they do it in 25-year-old Dickel barrels, Flintstone vitamins. The whole. So because of that, after 25 years of Dickel being in it, all the color's gone. So it just has a very light color to it.
All right, I'm going to taste the Black Forest.
All right, jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that one keeps developing. Now, you sure I can't get this one?
Positive.
Both makes me very happy and very sad at the same time.
Well, I could definitely share the love with you if you want. But this is a very expensive tequila.
Is it?
Yeah, extremely expensive.
Uh-oh. It's quite incredible. I don't think I've ever tasted anything quite like this before. It's such, you know, it is such an overwhelming flavor almost.
Still lots of agave in the front. I'm still picking up lots of this cooked agave.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm guessing it's an extra añejo, and most extra añejos I have are real light, if non-existent agave.
Let me answer this question real quick for Mike. He wants to know, so the vanilla flavor is from tannins in the barrel? Not sure if tannins are there. Now, actually, in the wood, there is actually an element in there called vanillin, which vanillin is the actual flavor molecule for vanilla. So it naturally occurs in wood. And so when you age in wood, the alcohol actually dissolves the vanillin out of the wood. And it then becomes part of the spirit and infuses in a vanilla flavor into it. And when you actually look at barrel staves, and when you look to like purchase barrel staves for barrels to make bourbon or wine, you can actually look at an analysis done by a lab by the lumber company that supplies the coopers, and see how much vanillin is actually in the wood that you're buying. And typically if you toast it more, you'll get more of the vanilla notes and stuff out of it, but it's from the vanillin content of the actual wood. So yeah, as Chris says, tannins are more of the bitter notes that come out, which he's correct. And for you guys that don't know, Christopher Harrigan is the owner of Beyond Barrel Aging Staves. So he's one of the aging experts that I constantly rely on for information on barrel aging and home aging and stuff like that. So he's not in his Beyond Barrel account, which is fine. I like him just as Christopher, just as much as I do as Beyond Barrel, but he's always got lots of great information about wood aging and stuff. And so, but yeah, the vanillin makeup in the wood is what brings the vanilla flavors out, and the caramel flavors as well. But the caramel is more of the caramelization of the vanillin molecules in the wood from the toasting. So that's where you get the caramel from.
Just on a side note, Christopher, I'm a big fan of your products.
There you go. So you do some aging with the aging staves? Have you done it?
Yeah, I've done 3 or 4 of them, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun and produces some really killer product.
Chris says, I like you too, Mark. You like me as Mark too. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I normally say I'm Mark anyways. The hombre is just, you know. So what do you think of that? You like this?
This is quite incredible. I don't know that I would have guessed it was super expensive, but I definitely knew immediately that it was something special.
Yeah, this is like $3,500 a bottle.
What? Why would you send that to me?
It's actually Fortaleza still strength aged with the Beyond Barrel French Oak aging stave. So it's my own personal Fortaleza Extra Añejo.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys that have like been hesitant about not trying the Beyond Barrel aging staves, booyah!
Yeah. It's incredible. I did that experiment with you, the still strength, and mine's pretty good. It's not this good.
Yeah, I just let mine go longer. It went 6 weeks.
Yeah.
and the still strength. With
What
the,
did you season yours in?
I didn't season anything. I just threw a French oak,
Oh, it's just
straight
French
French oak into it. Yeah. And so this is, with the wood that Christopher gets, it's open air seasoned, which means that the vanilla and stuff really pops on it. And since this is French oak as well, it gets you more of that butterscotch, sweeter notes from it. So that's French oak. That's a Fortaleza French oak extra añejo made with the still strength Blanco.
right.
So people have always said, hey, we want to try what some of your aging projects taste like. Jason is able to do that right now. So if you wanted to recreate
it's
it,
excellent.
if you wanted to recreate it, you could.
Good.
All you basically had to do is buy a still strength Blanco if you can find it, which is the bad thing about Fortaleza right now as a base. But you can use a lot of things and just use the French oak, the number 3 French oak stave. Create some fantastic aged spirits with it. So, but I charge $1,500 for a bottle of this because it's so good. And it's a one of one. So,
Right.
Anthony thought it was Fuente Seca. No, in all honesty, Enrique Fonseca wishes he could make an extra añejo this good.
It is quite good. I do enjoy it.
What is sell? Don't discount. Not seasoning. Yeah, not seasoning first, right? You don't need to season it. You can just put the wood in and go straight. And this is like a Raysal. I mean, Raysal, there's nothing in the barrel. Those are brand new, custom made French oak barrels. So it's like the same thing, which are open air seasoned, just like these are. This was I think this was a 5-year seasoned, because this was from last year, and I think they were 5-year seasoned French oak staves. So these are really good quality wood. All the wood, the Beyond Barrel aging staves. If you guys are interested in checking them out, it's bbaging.com. But this is a French oak stave in Fortaleza still strength. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's 6 weeks.
And for those of you who haven't done it, it's a lot of fun. The staves are just these little cylinders of wood.
It looks like this.
You put them in
It fits
a bottle.
directly in the bottle.
Yeah, and then you just let it sit. It's great.
And so they come in little, and you can get American oak or French oak. They come in little plastic tubes like this. So this is a number 2 from before, a French oak number 2, but it comes in a little tube like this. And if you buy 4, your shipping's free, I think, still. And they make fantastic aged express, better than what most of the producers will provide you. I am, as you saw Jason here, frothing over my aged Fortaleza still strength.
We'll call it the Black Forest Ham Edition.
There you go. Black Forest Ham Edition, better than Raysal. He said a lot more complex than Raysal was, so there you go.
At least on the nose, for sure. And it's the only way to get a real Fortaleza extra añejo.
I'm the only one in the world right now with a good French oak extra añejo from Fortaleza like this. I'm sure Guillermo would be very happy with this if I sent him some and said, hey, this is your still strength Blanco that I aged to an extra añejo with French oak. Maybe they'd stop with the whole winter blend nonsense bullshit and just let it age out to an extra añejo.
Way too much money.
They're not making any money. They're not making nearly as much money as the retail guys are on it.
Well, that's true, but the retail guys really want it. So.
Well, yeah, because it cost them $90 to buy a bottle, and they're selling it for $300. So yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
That's an incredible markup.
I hope no St. Louis retailers are listening.
They
haven't figured out the $300 markup yet.
On the winter blend, they haven't? No, wow. God, every place else has.
We can't get much of it, but you, it's about $90.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything more from the home of Budweiser. So, sorry,
we're crazy about Blanton's here, though.
I'm a beer snob. Sorry.
As you should be.
As I should be, yeah, because I was a national champion home brewer. So,
Yeah.
I don't have I admire Budweiser for what they do on a consistent basis. Producing the horse piss that they do, and it tastes the same no matter where you buy it from. But it's still
Clydesdale piss.
Yeah, Clydesdale. It's horse piss. There's Clydesdales are still horses.
True, but specific.
But hey, they win the American lager category every time. So, it is a consistent American lager. Just Americans don't really have good palates.
You're going to win every time.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now that we're all nice and toasty here and feeling good, number 4.
Number 4. Here, I'll hold up my notebook behind it. Oops. There we go. So, not as dark.
Amelia wants to know if that bottle, would you pay $1,500 for that bottle?
I can't. It's not available.
It's sold out. So Amelia, that was a joke, my friend. I was joking. I made that bottle. I aged it myself. That was just a bottle of Fortaleza Still Strength that I dropped an aging stave in and aged it myself to a beautiful extra añejo. So since it's my only bottle of it, I just made up a funny price for him. So it's my price because it's a one of one bottle. You can't find it anyplace else. And right now there's only this much left of it. So it's now a $3,000 bottle if you want to buy the rest. Because that's how much I like it.
I'll just make my own.
Kenny says, wow, that's dark in 6 weeks. Yeah, well, that's from the fact that it's a higher proof. It gets darker faster when you're dealing with higher proofs.
All right, so I'm looking at number 4 here. All right, this one has a very agave forward nose. I like it.
Okay. I would drink along with you on that one, but it's gone. It's done. So,
okay. Cheers.
So salud. Enjoy, my friend.
This is the first one tonight that has a very agave forward nose to me.
Okay.
Which is great because that's one of the reasons I drink tequila, because I love agave. It's got the cinnamon, it's got vanilla, kind of the generic tasting notes. Or nosing, anyway. No Black Forest ham on this one.
No Black Forest ham.
No. Sorry. That's unique.
Oh, Emilio said we got him. He was fully thinking it was a $1,500 bottle. Placing your order for Beyond Barrel soon. Yes, Beyond Barrel Aging Staves, bbaging.com. They're the best things ever for home aging. And even if you have like a bad bourbon and you want to, I call it aging the shit out of it, because you can really, by dropping a stave in it, you can make it so it doesn't taste as shitty as it does when you just bought it. So if you taste something and you're like, okay, I don't like the taste of this, it's not good, you can buy a Beyond Barrel aging stave and drop the stave in the bottle and let it go for a few weeks, and it'll literally take the shit taste out of whatever it is you're aging. They're that good. Excuse my term, friend. I mean, shit, if that offends you, I apologize. But that's the only way I can really explain what some of the flavors are that some of these places produce. I've never seen a liquor that dark that did not have a color added to it. No, there's no color added at all. It's all from the wood, from the toasted wood. Now, these staves, the reason, I think it was Anthony before that said it's from the char. These staves are charred. They're number 3 toast. So they're toasted in a oven. Chris Harrigan toasts them himself, and so they're not charred. So it's all from just toasting in an oven. There's no flame or fire at all. Is that bourbon?
Well, number 4 is
equals
excellent.
He does have cherry staves. So if you want to do a bourbon, you want to drop the cherry staves in the bourbon. That's I guess that's good for that. I did a cherry and a tequila, and it just took forever, and it just tasted like a light American oak expression. So I'd rather just go the number 3 toasted American oak instead of having to wait for a cherry to really produce all the flavor. So what do you think? What are you getting on the nose?
So on the nose on this one, it was agave, very agave forward, nice cinnamon, nice vanilla.
Well, it has to be like an oven or something that produces dry heat, right? It's not. They didn't use flame on it, do they? On toasting it, do they do it with open flame or they do it in an oven? Chris says it didn't say they did it in an oven. I thought it was an oven, so I apologize. I was wrong. Chris is gonna delight us with the information on how they do the toasting on it, but it's toasted versus charred. They probably did open flame toasting or something. I don't know.
So this number 4 is delightful. Really, really love it. This is probably it's something that I would describe as kind of this would be a perfect tequila for my nose and palate.
Okay.
It's not overwhelming from it's not like super aged, like unique. But this is something that this matches up very well with what my expectations of an excellent tequila is.
Nice.
Just
okay.
The nose and the palate they're fantastic.
Christopher will not tell it's a secret as to how they do their toasting. Jason, he wants to know, would you say it's a Blanco? Well, for the color that it's got, it better not be a Blanco.
No, it's definitely not a Blanco. I don't think you sent me any Blancos.
He said he will say it's a multiple step process. Okay, Chris, thanks. That's definitely not a Blanco. You look at the color of that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I can't guess based just on the color, but I'd probably go Reposado if you pushed me into guessing. But it's got just really nice. I think it's got great balance to it. All the flavors just kind of meld together really well. There's nothing that stands out and spikes out in any way. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to say perfect, but
almost perfect age tequila.
Yeah, I really like it.
How much would you pay for a bottle of something like this?
I mean, sign me up for at least a case.
Okay, case. How much would you pay? How much would you say would be a reasonable price for a bottle of tequila like this?
That's hard because given I know that this is unobtainium, but if this was available on the shelf, this is probably. I mean, I don't think I would regularly buy a $100 bottle of tequila, but I'd say a $100 retail would probably be. That's where I'd be okay spending that much on a regular basis to make sure I've got this bottle in my bar. More than that, and this might be more expensive than that, but I anything like that, I can't keep it stocked for very long.
All right.
I'm probably way off on the price, but I love it.
He loves it. It's a win for that. It is a $60 bottle of tequila.
Nice.
And a Beyond Barrel aging stave. That is one of my American Oak Beyond Barrel aging stave projects. And that is the G4 Madeira Blanco.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, for those of you that aren't familiar, here, I'll show you. When the G4 Madeira was available, I bought 2 cases of it, so I still have more. But I literally just dropped in a Beyond Barrel aging stave number 3 American Oak toast into the bottle. 4 weeks to create that flavor profile. So if you want to create this yourself, go to bbaging.com, buy the American Oak number 3 toast, and you're gonna, when you drop it into this bottle, you're gonna have to pour a little bit out because it's filled up kind of high, and it'll push the cork out if you don't do it. So just pour a little bit out and drink it, to enjoy it, to make room for the stave. And then this is a higher proof, so it's 45% alcohol by volume.
45.
So it'll pull the color and stuff out pretty quickly. I went 4 weeks on this one with a number 3 toast American Oak. It was so good. I did 2 bottles of it and they're gone. I don't even have them anymore. But people kept, if you look on my Instagram, people kept commenting like, how did you get, like, that looks like it's like a añejo colored, an añejo colored G4 Madeira. I've only seen it in Blanco, but I just aged it myself at home using the Beyond Barrel aging staves. And it produced a phenomenal aged tequila from it.
It's great. I mean, and it's funny because I'm thinking about people watching this right now, and they're like, "Well, Jason obviously knows what this is, and he's being paid to say this." Not at all. I paid to have this stuff blind.
They paid me to send them these bottles, mystery bottles. Yeah.
I'm wondering, I was wondering, why is Christopher on tonight? But I get it now. But
he's just a subscriber. I didn't invite him on for this.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I told him when he asked me, I was doing these tasting. He asked me if I was going to be doing any of my aging projects. I told him no on purpose because I wanted him to be surprised about your tasting and all of a sudden pop up that I used his aging staves for these.
Well, kudos to both of you because the aging stave in this particular tequila is amazing. But I love the G4 Madeira by itself as a Blanco, and given how rare it is, it would never have occurred to me to age it. But now I might.
If you have a bottle, drop an American Oak in for.
I've got one.
Drop an American Oak stave in it for 4 weeks. Now, for those of you that are new to the aging stave thing, I equate like 1 week to 3 months in a barrel. So if you go 4 weeks, it's like a year. It's 12 months. So this would be an añejo, a G4 Madeira equivalent, añejo equivalent, as far as what you get. And you would agree, right? That's like an añejo flavor profile, right? For that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have guessed reposado, but I definitely could go añejo on it too.
Yeah, it's very complex and rich with the flavor notes. So it's more like an añejo than it is a repo. But repos tend to be lighter. but it turned dark quick. And I've got another one that I just did. I just aged 2 of them. And for those of you that are subscribers now to the channel, I think they're down here somewhere, right? Let me see, where is it? Hold on. What does the top look like? It's a black top. Okay. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I got to grab a 5th glass.
Oh, okay. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So this is a American oak one that I just did, and this was 4 weeks again with the regular Beyond Barrel aging stave number 3 toast. So this is what it looks like. I just basically pulled the aging stave out of the bottle. Now the key for this too, when you do these, is letting them sit for a little while, so all the flavors kind of marry together. Don't drink it right away when you pull the stave out. Let it sit for this has been sitting for 3 weeks now, and I'm probably gonna do 1 more week before I dive into this. But this is one that I'm gonna do a comparing against. Chris sent me a experimental wood that he's experimenting with, and I aged this one and the experimental wood the same way. So I'm gonna do a tasting between the 2 of them. But this is the same one that Jason just drank here. The same time, the same wood, everything's the same. So this will, give me a really good, close to being the same as what Jason just drank. So it's really easy to duplicate the same thing. Just take copious notes. And like I tell people too, you want to taste every week to see where things are at with the aging staves, to see how they're coming along. And then when it gets to the point where you're like, oh yeah, that is so freaking good, pull the stave out and let it sit for a few weeks and kind of marry and stuff and develop the flavor profile before you start drinking it. Because otherwise you'll drink it all. It will taste really good right as you pull the stave out. But it gets even better the longer you let it sit in the bottle. So all of mine that I'm doing, and I've got I've got a Viva Mexico. Like, look at this. This is a Carrera Blanco with American oak that was soaked in sherry. So look at the color and stuff on that. This looks beautiful. This one's going to be phenomenal. Jason, I'll have to send you a bottle of this. I'll send you some of these aging projects that I just did, so you can try them and see what I'm creating with them.
And you know, I love that Carrera product.
Oh, I know. This sherry one's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be so good.
I'm really looking forward to the high proof version of that one too. The Carrera.
So let me see. I got to catch up on the comments here. Yeah. Agave and French oak. Try it. Absolutely. Yes. Amelia says, I only drink Blanco tequila because I just want the agave taste. Am I missing? Yes. Would you say aged tequila is worth it? And how does it affect it? Does it taste more like whiskey? No, I don't think it tastes more like whiskey. You want to make sure it's not over oaked. You still want the agave to be king, but I think aging it in the barrels does give you a different dimension to it than just drinking Blanco. I love an amazing Blanco. I drink Blancos all day long, but I do love a good aged expression, and I do love them. Like I'm a big cigar smoker, so I do love them with cigars as well, or after dinner as like an after dinner drink. But if you do it right, and that's one thing I like about the aging staves is you can control how much it's aged and stuff. Where some of these producers that do them sometimes over oak them and stuff, and it ends up being more like a whiskey. But with the aging staves, you can let it go a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long you want. Just taste it every week and see where it's at before you pull it out and say you're good. So yeah, here Chris is like, did you tell me? You did tell me no. See, I did tell him that I wasn't gonna be, we weren't gonna be tasting an aging project, and he was like mad at me, kind of. I think he was like upset. Like, what do you mean you're gonna taste an aging project? But he always like asks me stuff like that all the time. Have your most favorite aging project been with high proofs? I've done some amazing ones with high proof and with regular 40 proof. So it all depends on, just understand with the 40 proof, you got to, the 40%, 80 proof, you got to go longer. You got to let it go. With the higher proof, it pulls the stuff out faster. It dissolves the vanilla and stuff faster, and that takes the color out faster. Just don't go over 150. Well, you can't, because 110 proof is the highest that tequila can go. So you never have to worry about going over 115 proof. But for knowledge, try it immediately, at least once, so you can learn how. Yeah, exactly. You try it, taste it a little bit when you're done, but then let it sit and marry. Just order 2 staves. Very good. Never mind, you'll taste it when you put. Yeah, like you said. Yeah, exactly. Definitely not a Blanco. Yeah, I've missed the pour. I'm going solely on Jason's initial notes. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not a Blanco. So that's a winner. So so far the 2 aging projects are the best ones you've had so far.
Yeah, I mean the Fortaleza, the ham is probably my most unique, and if pressed, I'd say that's my favorite of what I've tasted tonight.
Okay.
But the Madeira aged with the American oak is the one that I would drink every day if I could.
Nice.
I mean, it is.
I'll price that one at for Emilio, or Emilio, is that his name? Yeah, Emilio. I'd price that one at $35,000 a bottle.
There you go. All right, so I'm nosing number 5.
Number 5. Here we go.
And I can show this is.
You have to hold the white piece of paper. There you go. Hold the white piece of paper. Now scoop, move it over. Move it over. There you go. Okay.
I'm going backwards. So this is it's certainly not as dark. Number 3 was the darkest, the Fortaleza, aged in the French oak. This one is pretty much the same color as number 4, as the G4 Madeira in the American oak. As the hombre would say, coats the glass nicely. Very nice tears and legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a very unique nose compared to the rest. Not Black Forest ham.
Okay.
Definitely agave. But it's got a unique note on it that I haven't been able to place, and I've been tasting it for a while. Or I haven't tasted it. Mike just texted me. He wants to get into aging. Mike, just so you know, and any of my St. Louis friends, come over. I've got a few aged projects of my own, including a Fortaleza still strength that you should try.
And Mike doesn't comment on here anymore because he's afraid I might throw another 10-year race all at him. Would you consider using cherry wood to age tequila or other wine aged woods? I have actually done. Where is it? Do I have it out here? I have it out here. Where's my chair? Oh, here. This is a cherry wood aged tequila, El Consuelo. I did it. This was just about a year with cherry wood. It took that long to get the flavor that this has, but I really could have gotten the same flavor from an American oak stave in 3 weeks. But it took cherry a year to get me there. And the flavor profile from the cherry was pretty much right spot on for what you get from American oak. I didn't taste anything really that different. So I'd go just American oak. It'd be easier. Yeah. American, like Chris said, American oak, then cherry for tequila. French oak is great, but both French and American oak work great for tequila. Yeah, cherry just takes so long as it does. It took a year to get it to the point where you normally get there in 4 weeks on American oak. Mike says, I just figured after the race all 10 year, that was a mic drop event. Yeah, that was basically it was a mic drop event. But he says cherry is still ideal on bourbon. So if you want to age a bourbon, drop the cherry into bourbon. For all the bourbon guys that are still here.
I'll have to try the cherry in a bourbon. I've got a few bourbons that I don't care for.
Cherry would help you. The cherry wood staves would help you with those.
All right, I'm going to taste.
All right, go in for it.
Oh. Interesting. Good, interesting.
I remember the hombre saying mezcal is not good aged. Is that true, or did I? No, you remember correctly. I do not recommend aging a mezcal because with mezcal, a lot of times they use wild agave, and the agave took 25 years to develop the flavor profile that it has. And why would you want to age it to get rid of the flavor profile on it? Where with farmed Weber Blue agave, it's pretty bland compared to what you can get from some wild agaves from mezcal. So go ahead and age it. I mean, it's fine because it's cultivated, it's farmed agave, where a lot of times on mezcals, you're dealing with wild agaves that 18 to 25, sometimes even longer years to mature. You don't want to cover up all the beautiful flavors that they developed over those years, starving and freezing and getting blitzed with rain and everything over the 25 years they've been in existence. Instead, enjoy the flavors that they deliver to you naturally. But Weber Blue Agave is just so over-farmed and farmed all the time. And it's fairly bland compared to other good agaves that are used in mezcal. So I'm okay with it. And if it was Espadín, if you want to age it, I mean, that's fine too, because that's cultivated agave as well, and it's like the same, it's like a cousin of Weber Blue Agave. But if you're doing Tobala or Tobasiche or Jabali or something like that, you better not be aging that. Sorry, Jason, go ahead. I didn't.
No, it's fine. This one is quite good as well. It's got a very unique flavor profile to it compared to the rest. It's really good. I wish my tongue was smarter and I can pick it apart better.
Well, that's a very.
But it is also my fifth.
That's a very special bottle that you have there. Not available anymore. You can't buy it. But it was one of my favorite aged tequilas for a long time.
Is the product's just not produced anymore?
It's not produced anymore. It's not produced anymore, but it's infamous.
That's too bad. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, so I'm going to disclose what the tequila that was. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of the NOM 1079. That is Oro Azul Añejo, which is no longer made, but you can still find these bottles occasionally in some dusty liquor stores. So this was a 1079 Añejo. 1079 was epic for their Blancos. And then they changed the nom because they had a nom issue, and they changed it, and it came out. What was I forgot the 1850, I think it was the next nom or something like that. But they changed the nom, which, you know, they just changed the number. It was still the same tequila, but then they stopped producing Oro Azul, which for me was an amazing tequila. You can still find these bottles out in the wild occasionally. The Oro Azul Añejo. This particular bottle that you're drinking from, I forgot the exact. Let me look. I think it's it's a first edition. I'm pretty sure it's a first edition. So it was the first batch that they did, batch 1. It says it on the back of the bottle, batch 1. So this is from my private collection. It is a batch 1 Oro Azul. Give you an idea on the date on this. It's does it have a date on it? It's probably, I think the first one was done like in the 90s. So I think it's like in 95.
Wow. So
this is like 30 years old. Just under 30 years old.
That's amazing. Well, thank you.
They produce Herencia Mexicana right now. That's their only brand that comes out of the distillery, which I think is very good as well. So if you haven't tried Herencia Mexicana, pick up some bottles of it and try it. It's good stuff.
Herenciata?
Herencia Mexicana.
Herencia Mexicana.
Yeah. That's the only brand they produce right now at a distillery. Anthony wants to know, is it unique like malolactic? No, there's no malolactic flavors in it.
No, it's not malolactic.
Now, the malolactic stuff, I mean, a lot of times the producers didn't do malolactic stuff in them because it was considered having a bacterial infection in your tequila. It's not something you normally really want. It's normally a thing for wine because it makes it more buttery and stuff for wine. But people are embracing it more because it produces a weird flavor profile on it. And Weber Blue Agave is just so bland in the way that they're cooking it now with the steam ovens that people are embracing the different malolactic notes, the cheesier, buttier notes and stuff from it. But it's basically a flaw. I mean, if you do your fermentation right, you stop it at 4 or 5 days so it doesn't go to malolactic, because otherwise it's just a bacterial infection from them fermenting in open air like that. So you ordered some Oro Azul Añejo from Mexico, Amazon, and your dad's bringing them over to. Okay, well, I hope it's the right nom. It wasn't the old nom or the newer nom. But this is from batch 1, so this was like the best of it. They had some later bottles that came out that I didn't think were as good as this is, and then they changed the I forgot what it was, 2580 or something like that. I'll have to look up. Let me see what the new nom was. Hold on, I can tell you. Hold on. But it was 1079 was the first one, and then it switched to 1580. 1580 was the second one, if I remember correctly. Let me look. I think it was 1580. Yeah, pretty sure it's 1580. It just came to me. Let me see. Oro Azul. Yeah, 1580 was the new nom. It's the same distillery. They just had to change the nom because they had issues with it. But the first batches of it, I think, were better than the later batches. But it's all good. It's all good. So EBA 101, I'm sure you're going to enjoy those. They're good añejos. You can taste the flavors that taste more like the original agave after it's rested in the bottle for that long. Yes, absolutely, yes. What do you think of getting El Tesoro and aging it using Beyond? Absolutely, absolutely. There's no reason why not. I've aged El Tesoro before, and it turns out great. With really old white wine, eventually flavors the original grape start to show back up. I don't know. With tequila, when you let it go to malolactic, it gets a nastier cheese note that comes through on it, like blue cheese and stuff, where it's not like wine where it's more of a buttery note that comes through. And so it's basically because it's spoiling. It really is spoiling. And what happens is sometimes distillers will forget about their fermentation when it's going, and it's like, oh God, we've already gotten 7 days on it, and it's like, and it's got malolactic notes, and so then they'll pass it off. But it's actually, malolactic on tequila is actually a flaw. So what they're doing is a lot of people are embracing it and saying, okay, well, let's just go a little malolactic on the fermentation, and then we'll pump it into the still, get it cranking so we can distill it real quick before it gets too sour and gross from the malolactic fermentation going on. But it's wild bacteria that's going crazy on it. It's not a controlled malolactic dosing like wine is. Speaking of malolactic and noms, I read today that's correct. Cascana switched noms. Now, a lot of people don't know this, is I actually helped them. I was a part of them switching noms. They weren't happy with their original distillery. I know Cascanas very well. I've known him very well for a long time. John Paul Fortunati, who's the CEO of Cascanas, used to come over to my house all the time. I actually developed the first Hoven with them. They did that in my dining room. But they went with me on a trip to visit T-Tap, and they followed me into a bunch of distilleries. They went on a 10-day tour with me to a bunch of different distilleries to meet master distillers and stuff. And they told me that they weren't happy with what was going on with the people of Atanasio because of how they work and stuff. So I said, hey, you guys should work with T-Tap, because we visited them and they had a really nice place. They were only doing Trace Agaves at the time. And so John Paul was like, yeah, maybe we should check in it. So they contacted them, see if they're open to it. They said yes. So then they started working with them on trying different batches, trying different things to see if they could produce the same flavor profile and stuff there, and it worked. So now they changed to T-Tap, and it basically was because of my introduction and because I told them they should use T-Tap. So I take full credit for it, even though they won't give it to me. It's okay. They didn't say thank you to me at all for doing it. I did it for free. I didn't charge them for it. But I posted, if you look on the Discord, I posted a picture of me with the T-Tap guys. John Paul actually took that photograph, the CEO of Cascanas, because they were with me on it. But I take great pride in knowing that I helped them in finding a new home for the brand. I think it's going to be a good thing for them. I think their relationship with Atanasio was poisonous. And I think that they'll be able to do good things there. Now, Colin Edwards, the guy that's the master distiller for the Cascanas brand, is a wine guy, and so he liked to play with the malolactic stuff in there. And so that's why. But the Hoven originally, when they did a Altos Blanco batch, and it went to malolactic, and it was horrible. It was bad. It was really bad. It was funky, bad, disgusting. And so John Paul came to my house, and we were sitting in my kitchen. He's like, try this, tell me what you think. And I tried it, and I went, wow, that is disgusting. And he's like, well, how can we save this? We don't want to, it's an expensive batch. We don't want to throw it away. And so then we started experimenting, where I'm like, we'll try pouring it with some regular Blanco. We taste it, like, okay, yeah, still way too much. We'll try adding a little extra Añejo to it. And we're like, okay, this is a little better. Then we said, okay, we'll age it a little bit in a barrel. So like I said before, you can age the shit out of things. by putting it in a barrel and turning it into a reposado, they were able to get some of that malolactic notes out of there. And so it was just a lighter malolactic note. So then we blended it with Blanco and with a little bit of the extra añejo, which I love the number 9 blended extra añejo. So we put a little bit of that in there, and then it was like, okay, this is gold. This is really good. So then, he said, yeah, this is really good. So then they went and did the Joven, where they went and created what percentage it was going to be on their own. But I basically give the idea of mixing the extra añejo in there and stuff. And we did that all in my dining room here at the house. So I was the one that helped them in creating the original Joven with the malolactic, but it was a mistake, and it was nasty on its own. And they didn't want to waste the Altos agave batch because it was expensive. Agave is expensive batch. So,
well, I'll say that original Joven, the release product is fantastic. I really like that bottle.
I since I had a say in it and helped develop it, I've got. I have 2 cases of it still. Yeah, I got it over here. And I got the number 9 blended extra añejo too, because I love that one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well.
But it's still they're still using the same master distillers and stuff. They're just have more options to use. They have a Toona at T-Tap, and see, they went with me to visit T-Tap because T-Tap wanted me to try their new tequila they're producing. It was called Inspiro. And it was my friend Ana Romero Mena was helping them with making that, and so they invited us over, and I invited Cascanes to come with me. Cascanes spent 10 days with me, going to different distilleries all over Mexico and visiting different distilleries. They met Carlos Camarena, they met Felipe, they met Sergio Cruz at Vivanco and Associates up at 1414. They went with me on a whirlwind tour of both Los Altos, and we even did a commercial together. They were actually my film crew and sound people and video camera people for the Cristalino review of El Tequileno on the roof at Tony Saez's hotel there for El Tequileno. So they were there with that as well. So I know about the NOM. I know about, I was actually instrumental in them finding their new home. So they won't give me credit for it. I don't know why. They haven't been really good about giving me credit for things that I've helped with, unless I put them on the show and put them on the spot, and then they'll mention it. But I guess they don't want to get the hate from some of the haters that they know like them but don't like me. So. Old white wine in the bottle starts to reveal original true grape flavors again. Tequila in a bottle that long, same? No, it won't. No, it's not the same as wine that way. All right, so you tasted through all 5, right? We're done.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. What would you say would be your favorite one of all the ones you tried?
You know, I've probably got to go with the Fortaleza aged in French oak. That's probably my favorite. But the one that I would drink every day is the G4 aged in the French or the American oak.
Okay. Well, I'll send you a bottle of each.
Those are great. They're all great.
I'll send you another sample bottle of each, just as my way of saying thanks for doing the live stream with me. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You can enjoy them.
And I know Mike and JP and Katie and others here in St. Louis will appreciate those as well.
Well, I'll send you 2 of each so you can include Mike on the tasting, all right? He seems like a pretty cool guy. So I'll send you 2 of each, and you can share a little bit, however much you want. You don't have to share if you don't want to. I'll leave it up to you. But
well, Well, thank you to you, and of course, thank you to my wife Katie, who arranged all this.
Yes, thanks, Katie.
Went behind my back, contacted you, but this has been amazing. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm
And
glad.
thanks for everybody for watching.
I'm glad that you enjoyed them. I was like sitting there when your wife asked me about it. I was like, all right, well, what can I send him? I mean, what can I? What and so I was hoping that you were excited about the aging project. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's send him some of these and let him try them. But then we also sent you some other stuff that you can't get that was actually done by the distilleries and stuff. So
yeah, no, these are all really special, and I really appreciate being able to taste some stuff that's just not available. But I'm continually blown away by the Beyond Barrel's aging stuff. It's really, their products are great, and I really love that we can take existing products that are available off the shelf and make them our own.
And this is not a
make them better.
Paid commercial for Beyond Barrel aging staves.
It is not paid, but again, kudos to Christopher for creating such an amazing product, and thank you. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully some of the folks watching tonight will we'll get into it. I know Mike is. He's already texting me about it.
Do you see the comment on the screen?
Yeah, I love it.
You can say thank you to him by sending him some of that Black Forest ham.
There we go. Well, actually, so the place in St. Louis I'm talking about is called G&W Sausage. I do believe that they will ship nationwide.
There you go, Chris.
So G&W Sausage, their sausages are amazing, and their Black Forest ham is very special.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for coming and visiting with us here live from the Hombre Cave. I'm glad Jason had a good time, and I'm glad it was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
So, but like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So, hey, if you get a bad Blanco or whatever you don't like, drop a Beyond Barrel aging stave in it and let the magic happen. Those things work great. And this is not a paid advertising, like I said before. But also, keep following my reviews on the Tequila Hombre channel. Subscribe here if you're not already a subscriber. And I post lots of good content. We're doing some wine making because tequila and wine are basically identical in the processes up to distillation. So we're learning about some cool things, getting into the science and technology part of tequila making and wine making. So make sure you subscribe here and follow the Hombre Cave as well as the Tequila Hombre channel, and listen to my reviews on tequilas and try what I recommend, and hopefully you agree with what I recommend. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, so try the good stuff and you'll be in good shape. Oh, Mike, what did Mike say? Katie rocks. Tons of fun watching you guys go through this tonight. Thanks for the fun Thursday night. Oh, thank you, Mike. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.
And that's it for tonight, guys. Salute. Bye.